The latest QV house prices are out and they show the biggest quarterly drop in more than a decade. But experts are passionately split about what that means.
Is a crash on the way or is the drop just a blip? A case of the jitters. And as Adam Hollingworth reports, that leaves buyers and sellers in the dark.
QV says the average home decreased in value by 0.6% nationally in the March quarter, and in Auckland it's a drop of 1.5%. So the big question, is this the start of a trend? Well, depends who you talk to.
We have actually seen house prices fall the last 3 months in a row, and our expectation is that indeed that is the start of a trend, that the housing market is in retreat. And we actually see house price inflation, deflation actually, bottoming out at minus 10% at the end of this year.
The current situation's a blip. It's based on a specific set of circumstances which have been caused by two quite specific things, and I don't see either of those lasting.
Ashley Church says those two factors are restrictive lending rules based on things like Netflix use, which he says will be legislated away by June, and a rising official cash rate, which he says is already being factored into mortgage rates.
So there's a finite increase in that people will get their heads around.
There are fewer houses on the market and in general they're taking longer to sell, but Shane Todd's experience bears Church's argument out. He's just sold his Auckland home in 6 days for more than he expected with multiple offers.
They were saying even with the lending laws softening and things, inflation going up, rents going up and things, they felt it was a good time to be in the market and get yourself a solid investment.
Fundamentally, it comes down to whether a decades-long trend of rising house prices is actually sustainable, and even on that there are differing views.
Sitting here in 2022, we can either say, well, that's enough of that, that's finished, it's done, they're now not going to go up any further, or we can say if we look at the evidence of the last 40 years, house prices have continued to roughly double every 10 years and everything suggests that that trend will continue.
Sharon Zollner argues fear of missing out has finally given way to fear of overpaying as inflation runs hot and mortgage rates rocket.
They hit bottom and they're bouncing back up. It's really not clear that the next 10 years are going to bring super low inflation and super low interest rates. So I think you can really actually question whether the last 30 years are going to be a good guide to the next 10.
And Sharon Zollner expects the OCR next week will go up 50 basis points and the following month another 50 points. She says some owners will be refixing their mortgages at a rate that has literally doubled. Adam Hollingworth, Newshub